news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
Nah, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories in the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Stroud is sacked again. Oh, John, boom! Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Defended in the corner.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker! Kenneth Walker! Touchdown! Smarty!
Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown to Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Victory Monday to you. It is the 4th day of December 2023. We welcome you here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Ben Glaze, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio and worldwide on the iHeartRadio app. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, we say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you to join the program at any time. You can text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000, Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line, 866-838-4843. That's 866-838-4843. 866-838-HUGE is the phone number. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on BCSN and streaming live on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports Network. Add a .com to that to find our website. xbmornings@gmail.com is our fan feedback email inbox. And you can find us all individually on Twitter. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. Ben Glaze is at TheBenGlaze. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. Happy Monday. How was the weekend?
Good morning. It was good. Spent it in Mount Pleasant with the fiance's family. But yeah, it was good.
Mount Pleasant, very pleasant this time of year.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Uh-huh. And that would and all went well with the family over there?
Yes.
Were you guys doing like Thanksgiving? Was that last weekend?
Yes, correct. Yeah,
Okay.
we were celebrating Thanksgiving. And they were celebrating the Michigan win. So yeah.
Yes, we all were, weren't we? You were celebrating it too, weren't you, Ben?
No, I wasn't.
Come on. You didn't want to celebrate it? Come
No.
on. Were you rooting for Michigan to lose?
No, I I knew going in that Iowa had absolutely no chance.
No chance.
Yeah, I had predicted 42-3, but I was way off.
I mean, I was only off in my final prediction by 80 points. I had 106-0. Unfortunately,
Wow.
Michigan's offense just did not look great.
Yeah.
But Iowa, and look, came down to punt yards versus total offense, right? And
Right.
you know what? Iowa had more punt yards. They're just awful. I'm telling you this right now, the bottom 3/4 of the Big Ten, and that might be a little bit of a stretch, but at least the bottom half of the Big Ten, at the very worst, will never play in the Big Ten championship game ever again. Wow. The only shot teams like Iowa have were to win the West, and so that they could go to the Big Ten title game and for a decade lose the Big Ten championship. The West was 0-10 in the Big Ten title game, I don't know, history, if you will. A short history, that is. But regardless, I mean, we're constantly evolving and changing the rules and doing this, that, and the third. Just kind of is what it is, right? We're just constantly doing this. I've got tons of thoughts all throughout the week about the travesty that took place yesterday with the College Football Playoff Committee. An absolute disaster. Now, I've heard a lot of chatter. It's not about who I want to play. That has nothing to do with it because, newsflash, people, on January 1, I'm not playing anybody, right? I'm going on the trip regardless. It's got absolutely nothing to do with who Michigan's opponent is. I do not care, nor should they. And if you care, well, that's why you don't play that sport. You think teams go up against you think the Packers walked into the Chiefs going, oh, my God, it's the Chiefs. Like, I hope not, because if so, you probably need to find a new profession. Just ridiculous. And that College Football Playoff Committee, I mean, everyone in that room, no one should have made it out. Lock the doors. Lock it. Leave them in there. I don't know what to tell you. That was just awful. Absolutely awful. So but trust me, we'll get into it. We shall talk about that and look forward to getting some of your thoughts on it as well. I just need someone to give me one good reason why an undefeated conference champion did not make the college football playoff. Well, all I need is one good reason. The committee couldn't give me one, so maybe you can at home. If you're like, no, that's a good Final Four. That'll work. If that's what you went with, like, oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Well, that's what it should be. I need you to tell me exactly the one good reason you kept Florida State out. Because trust me, I thought about it all day. There's nothing you can bring that's going to be able to win that argument. Not a single thing. So very, very, just an atrocious display of lack of leadership and decision-making there by that committee yesterday. And feel terrible. I'm glad the ACC made their statement. I'm glad Florida State made their statement. I got another idea for a statement that I could see Florida State making that I saw floated around by Danny Cannell over the weekend. If I were them, and I wholeheartedly agree with this, I would act as if nothing's wrong. I would get ready for the Orange Bowl, take on Georgia, would do all of that, go through the entire process of what's to be. Even though you didn't make the All-State Sugar Bowl or the Rose Bowl game, that's totally fine. I'd go through all the motions. Walk out there for warm-ups, do all that. Maybe I wouldn't even go out there for warm-ups just because it takes there's like every team has like basically I'll say like a technical director that has to set up like all the headsets and everything. So maybe we save him some time. But go enjoy all the free stuff and just don't even show up in the game. Don't even worry about it. What are they going to do? What would they say? We got the Orange Bowl. We got it blocked out. No, I don't think so. But we're not going to tell you. We're just not going to do it. We're just not going to play. And say the hell with it. I mean, that's a great way to thumb your nose at this committee. And what would they do? What would they do with that 3 to 4 hour block of time on television? I see that, or Florida State wins the Orange Bowl, claims a national title as an undefeated Power 5 champion. It doesn't matter if they claim it, though. Just more of same in college football. Like, there's no way anybody should have ever been able to vote for a champion. There's no way computer points should have put two teams in a final. There's no way that 130 teams should play for a playoff. Like, it's a broken sport, and it's always been broken. But it just gets masked and covered up like it's this, that, and the third because of the pageantry of the band and the fight songs and hardy har har. Well, basketball has that too. They've got bands and fight songs, and at least they have. And I'm not even a big fan of the way that they do their tournament, but at least every conference champion gets in. At least we know that every team is playing for something. So I'm good with it, man. I hope that Florida State. I know that they won't. They'll go and they'll play. They'll do the right thing. I get it. Or maybe they'll tell them ahead of time, like, no, we're not. No, but you have to wait. You'd have to wait until the day of the game, like an hour before kickoff. You guys run out there, go through warm-ups, everything's fine. Never get all the free stuff, enjoy all the meals, enjoy all the free contraband that the bowl gives you. And then once it's ready to run out of the tunnel and they get ready to introduce you, you're nowhere to be found. You hopped on the bus and you left. See you guys. Enjoy the game. Thanks for the stuff. Thanks for keeping us out of the college football playoff. I swear, it's exactly what are they going to do? Can't fine you. What's the difference? Honestly. So I saw Danny Cannell tweet it yesterday. I was like, I actually really like that. We'll get in more to what happened this weekend next year. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Josh Garvey. Now, he is a managing shareholder at Br0's, soon to be Doran Mayhew at the end of the year. And with the merger, there is growth and a chance for you to fill an executive or other high-level finance-related roles, either at Br0 here in downtown Grand Rapids or over at the Doran Mayhew World Headquarters in Troy, or at any of their offices across the country and around the world. They have a national specialized talent pool with ideal candidates for long-term placement, ongoing support for post-placement success. So if you're looking for that next chapter in your professional career, talk to Josh Garvey and the team at Br0. Easiest way, you can call Br0, ask for Josh Garvey, or go to their website, BENEGARTR.com, or look for Br0, soon to be Doran Mayhew, on Facebook and on Twitter.
Hi, I'm Casey. I don't just work at Meijer, I shop there. Get a $10 coupon like I just did when you spend $100 or more this week in store. Print it at checkout. Start redeeming next week. And get a Meijer Spiral Sliced Ham for 89 cents per pound with M-Perks. Discount automatically applied when you enter your M-Perks ID Limit 1. And save even more with M-Perks with $1 off per gallon of gas. Get the same low prices in-store and online. For big deals and great quality, shop Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Roast Umber is a farm-direct coffee sourced from Central American farmers and roasted in Grand Rapids. And also the Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is a convenient and healthy option for energy with no sugar additives. Look for it at your local retailer or at roastumber.com. Coming up later today at 3 on The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network, I'll deliver huge opinions on everything you're talking about.
The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions old and new.
Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to X's and Bros with Anthony Bellino here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports and Network. You know, golf season has come to a close, but Tullymore Golf Resort in the beautiful Canadian Lakes, Michigan offers plenty more than just 2 championship courses in Tullymore and St. Ives. They've got the perfect accommodations and spaces for your wedding event, reception, or group outing. Visit TullymoreGolf.com, TullymoreGolf.com, or call 1-800-972-4837. That's 1-800-972-4837. And book your stay and play at Tullymore today. They've got room for everybody. I mean, up to 400 of your closest friends and family. Whew, that's a lot. Only at Tullymore. As we are back here, you know, it was such an active weekend. You got a great message here from Nate. Nate, happy Victory Monday. Lions had a great first and fourth quarter. Need to have 4 quarters of success by the time the playoffs start. Thank you, Nate, for that. You are absolutely right. This team yesterday, the Lions, I mean, ripping and roaring. I believe the first team since the year 2000 to score 3 touchdowns in the first 7 minutes of the game. I mean, basically everything that took place to them on Thanksgiving Day for the Packers, they went and exercised all those demons in the first 7 minutes of the game against the New Orleans Saints. And then the Saints went on to outscore them, 28-12 after those 3 touchdowns. So a lot changed defensively. They've got to be able to do something to be able to fix this. And I don't know where it starts. Bruce Irvin, welcome to Detroit. I mean, at 36 years old, great to have somebody on the other side. Hutch saw less snaps in the game, and I think that's a good thing for Detroit. I really do believe that. You know, there's no way the guy can't play 100% of the snaps every single game. At that position, you know, especially when he's having to do what he's having to do, seeing what he's having to see, that makes life very, very difficult. And, of course, you know, the knee injury to Frank Ragnow, we'll find out more today about what the status of that is, but that was not good. Graham Glasgow going over to the center position. Graham can do that. That's why we have him. Colby Sorsdale, stepping in. to play that right guard spot that was left voided by Graham flipping to center and Frank getting hurt. That's a huge injury. That and no one's really talked about it. That's a terrible, terrible injury. Hey, shout out to the sideline official as well. A member of the chain gang. Looks like it was just a dislocated knee. It didn't look like that. It looked like his leg was broke. I mean, his leg. I felt terrible for him. But that's the danger of being on the sideline, man. You gotta see the play. You gotta see it coming. You have to be paying attention. Anytime the ball has an opportunity to be anywhere near you, you have to keep your eyes on the field. I'm not saying that he wasn't, that he couldn't see it. Reaction time was slow. I don't know, but that was a bad day at the office for that gentleman. But the Lions with a 33-28 win. A win is a win. And how about, did you see anything that in that game that might have stood out to you? Because they won 20-6 over the Falcons. They beat the Panthers 42-24. They beat the Buccaneers 20-6, and now beat the Saints 33-28. The Detroit Lions are your 2023 undefeated NFC South champions. And as I've been talking about all last week, you now sit with a record of 9-3, and in each quarter of the season, you've gone 3-1. So that is very, very good to see. Very happy about that. So we'll get more into the Lions coming up next as they'll get ready for their road trip against the Chicago Bears this coming Sunday. Over the weekend, on the heels of that 5-1 win against Montreal, the Detroit Red Wings against Chicago. The Detroit Red Wings then went to Montreal and beat them 5-4 in overtime. So good for the Detroit Red Wings. That is a big time win for them. They get to keep it going. And Jake Wallman with the clapper there at the end. Joe Bellino, who's had a really good season thus far, got his 6th. That one came from Raymond and Wallman. Christian Fischer got one shorthanded. Good for him from Michael Rasmussen. Daniel Sprong got in on the action. Alex DeBrincat got his 13th of the season on the power play at 4:54 in the second period. Montreal scored twice in the third, and then Wallman in OT, 54 seconds in from Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat. That's just fantastic for him. Now, you may have seen, you may have not seen, the reason that Larkin was out of the lineup last week was because his wife had been expecting, and unfortunately, he and his wife lost their child. And he was pretty open about this, just sharing it on Instagram. Didn't have to, but just posted like that's what he's been dealing with and going through. And I thought for him, get on the road. The minute I saw it, I was like, okay, all right. You get on the road and you go play Montreal, and you probably are just going to go out there and play your rear end off, because at that point you might even black out for the entire time you're out there. I can't imagine. I'm not a father, so I can't imagine what he and his wife are going through. But I was expecting this thing's going to go one of two ways. Either one, he's going to go out there, be dejected, and he's going to have a really bad day, or two, he's going to play like he was just shot out of a cannon, and I think we got more of the latter there. So for Dylan, it's going to be an uphill battle for he and his wife. This happens a whole lot more, I think, that people really talk about or really even know about. But I was just glad to see, hey, the team got a dub for him. It's something to smile about before getting back home and then having to face the realities and the difficulties of the journey of human life, right? I mean, that's the human experience, and unfortunately for he and his lovely wife, they lose their baby, and yeah, I just man, I don't know how you do that. And as for our other team, the Detroit Pistons, they played Thursday, lost on the road to New York. Yeah, we got that. They played Saturday at home against Cleveland, and they lost again. This time they lost 110-101. They 17 consecutive losses. They were a part of No Win November. So we talked about that, the franchises that had gone an entire month without winning a basketball game. They joined three other franchises in the football side of things that didn't win in the month of November. I honestly don't know if they win again before the calendar turns to 2024. I really, this past game against Cleveland, they decided to go Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren. And there was a possession that took place. Now, this is Bojan Bogdanovic's debut. Bogey comes in, plays 27 minutes, is 7 of 15 from the field, 3 of 10 from 3, 5 of 6 from the stripe, finishes with 22 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Didn't shoot it well from 3, but that's okay because, at the end of the day, 7 of 15 from the floor, you're still just shy of 50%, and basically anything over 40% is acceptable. That was first game back, gets 15 shots. That's where the three-pointers got to come from. They don't need to come from Isaiah Stewart, another game where he's 1 for 5. There was a very singular possession that took place where Beef Stew is out on the right wing. He's not doing anything. The ball is, trying to be driven into the paint. He's kind of hanging out there, and it's just like, dude, that it's just you're trying to put a square peg into a round hole. He's not an ultra efficient shooter, so I don't know why we're spotting up with our 4. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You could have a small forward or a wing, if you will, spot up. Like Asar Thompson could spot up. You could do that with Asar Thompson. You could do it with Jaden Ivey. You could do it with Killian Hayes, for all I care. But you don't need to. Isaiah Livers is another one. You could spot him up. But basically, as an undersized center playing the forward position, you don't need to be hanging out around the three-point line. I'm sorry. If you want to shoot a couple a game, I'm good with it. We just don't need it. And I'm going to keep harping on it. And I'm but he does shoot. It doesn't matter. Get your rear end near the, what are we doing? That's the big, we don't know what we're doing. That's why the starting lineup, we went this 3-guard lineup, and, could this be something? It could if Cade wouldn't shoot 8 for 20. Killian Hayes, 6 of 11. That's over 50%. Jaden Ivey was 2 for 7 from the floor. You outside of Bojan, you don't get anything from the bench. And Asar Thompson only played 16 minutes in the game. I don't know what's going on there, but that's the way it is. We'll step aside. Talking Lions football next here. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Book your stay this fall in a luxurious first-class room and receive $50 premium play, a $20 spa credit, and a $25 dining credit. Rates are just $289 a night, Sunday through Thursday, and $339 on Fridays and Saturdays. Reserve your room now, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Huge here for Van Andel Institute Purple Community. Now, they're a grassroots fundraising network powered by the volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve health now and in the future. Learn more at purplecommunity.org.
You're listening to Michigan's statewide morning show, X's and Bros, right here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Back we are here on X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. You know, in the NBA, the game can change in an instant, but no matter how the action unfolds, you know DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub. Best of all, it's safe, secure, and reliable. 24/7 support. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever, wherever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE. Promo code HUGE. New customers get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Only using the promo code HUGE. The crown is yours. Now, if you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117. 21 plus, physically present, Michigan. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. By the way, you can join the program at any time. You can text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000 sports radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 866-838-4843. 866-838-4843. 866-838-HUGE. On the phone line. All right, as we do on a Victory Monday, and of course after Lions games, let's take you through what took place yesterday in the Lions' 33-28 victory over the New Orleans Saints. Now let's get right to the coin toss, right? So the coin toss, if we were going to win the toss, I would have liked to have seen the Lions receive. Something about it, I was like, you know what, let's get the football first today, and let's see what happens. Like, let's have an established drive. We go down the field, we march it, and the Saints go marching on. All right, the Lions go marching on, and they march it right down the Saints' throat. Let's punch one in for 7 and set the tone for this football game. Luckily, the Saints won the toss. They deferred, so they allowed us to get the football first. Congratulations to them. Appreciate your work. The first drive, 7 plays, 80 yards in 3:45, and you talk about setting the tone, that was it. You know, and on the very first play, Jonah Jackson took a false start penalty. So it backed us up to 1st and 15 from the 15. On 3rd and 7, I thought that this was a big play here from the 23. David Montgomery got the handoff, went left guard for a gain of 9 yards on 3rd and 7. And the offensive line, when you see those icy white jerseys start to just push, where the ball was snapped at and then all of a sudden the offensive line is 5 yards down the field, that is huge. Huge for this team. And it really got set off where we were 1st and 10. I mean, it was 2nd and 6, pardon me, from the Detroit 36. Jared Goff threw one to Jamison Williams for a gain of 11 yards. And then there was a defensive pass interference penalty that was declined and a roughing the passer that tacked on 15 more yards. So you're 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line when this happened.
Campbell's Lions 16-5 from the start of November last year. Inside the Saints 40. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs, his first touch of the day, and Gibbs has room, breaking it to the secondary. Gibbs explodes and makes it 1st and goal. Another one of those big plays with one of the best big play producers, the rookie out of Alabama.
What a blessing he has been. Now you see it, right? And that's a run that was, going right tackle. Right, that was going into the B gap, and he kind of sliced that one back using great vision. What a dangerous threat, Jahmyr Gibbs, and you could see why Brad Holmes was so high on him in the draft. So he gets it down inside the 5-yard line, and this is what happens after that. It gets actually down to the New Orleans 2-yard line, and a little peanut butter and jelly time.
Montgomery and Gibbs, and it's the bigger running back, and Montgomery that comes in here. On 1st and goal, it is Montgomery, and it's a Detroit Lions touchdown on the first drive.
So Lions go up 7-0. Hey, Jonah Jackson, great pull on that, working all the way down the line of scrimmage, just looking for anybody that he could possibly hit on that play. And look, the other, when you start to think about setting the tone early, that's exactly what the Lions did there. 7-0. You feel good. Even though you started the game off with a penalty, it just kind of, at that point, like, look, you did everything that you needed to do. And really, really quality football there from the Detroit Lions. Happy with the play calling. Obviously, the 15-yard penalty for the roughing the passer. That one, okay, I understand that one. You know, you're hitting the quarterback high. I get. I'm still not, look, I still absolutely hate the roughing the passer penalty. The penalty that it was against the Detroit Lions, I thought that is about as powder puff as it gets. You know, why don't you put a red jersey, pull some flags on them. And I know it's the rule. You can't allow gravity. After you form tackle somebody, you can't allow gravity to put that person on the ground. I understand. Still crap. So Lions are up 7-0. And New Orleans Saints are going to run their first play, 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. And this happened.
That red zone area. They move the ball very well between the 20s.
Looking downfield, first play, coverage tight, and so he checks it down. It's intercepted off of Jawan Johnson's hands into those of Brian Branch. The rookie.
How good was that interception by the rookie, Brian Branch? I mean, this pick right here was one of the best that you will ever see. There was Derek Carr was feeling a little bit of pressure, not too much, rolled a little bit to his right, ball off his receiver's hands, and Brian Branch almost had over-pursued to make a play if the ball was caught, and ended up just kind of reaching back with his right arm and makes a one-handed interception grab right there. I mean, the ball skills here, that's just incredible. That is somebody who works a lot, and, I mean, God bless him, right place, right time. That's what took place. That interception was massive. So the Lions will take over, and they'll only need 3 plays and 17 yards to punch this one in on this very play right here.
Against a Saints defense that was so good early on this season, trying to get back to that. They rushed just 4 on 3rd and 6. Goff lets it rip. A touchdown to Laporta. 2 drives, 2 scores, and a marvelous start to this game for Detroit.
All right, now, that pass goes to Sam Laporta, touchdown. Is anybody else picking up what I'm putting down right here? Do you realize what I'm trying to tell you on this? Let's talk about it, right? That's why we're here. Big chunk play, explosive, right? Anything over 20 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs gets the ball down to the 2-yard line. Monty punches it in. First possession from New Orleans. Derek Carr drops back, throws, intercepted by who? Brian Branch. Lions take over. Touchdown pass to Sam Laporta. What do Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Branch and Sam Laporta all have in common? Yes, you guessed it right.
Bing bong.
Congratulations. All 3 are members of the 2023 Detroit Lions rookie class. It's all part of the draft class. Now, it is rare that you will see so much production come from so many different rookies throughout the course of a season. I mean, Sam Laporta is on a historical pace. If you saw the graphic yesterday, if you were watching, if you didn't, he's going to probably catch Keith Jackson. Stay healthy, probably catches him for the most yards ever by a tight end in NFL history in their first season. I mean, he has been simply sensational this year. Brian Branch, he's healthy, and oh my God, does he look good. I mean, that's exactly why they moved up from, where were they at, 47 to 45 or whatever. They wanted to go get him. I mean, that was incredible. So you have Jahmyr Gibbs, who they draft first. Jack Campbell, who they draft second. Sam Laporta comes with that trade where you didn't get Jalen Carter, but instead you got these 2 guys that are producing at such a high level. It's just sensational. All right, it's 14-0. And the Lions forced to punt, 3 plays, -1 yard, little 3-and-out for the defense. And the offense will take over. 1st and 10 from their 46. Jared Goff hit Sam Laporta to the New Orleans 25, a gain of 29 yards, right? And on 1st and 10, Jahmyr Gibbs got the ball. He didn't go anywhere. So it was 2nd and 10 when the Laporta reception happens. Then it's 1st and 10 at the New Orleans 25. A little no-huddle action. Detroit hurries up, catches New Orleans.
Small details are really hurting the Saints.
Out of an empty set. Goff given all day. Over the middle, Amon-Ra St. Brown. What a start for Detroit.
Now, how about this from Amon-Ra St. Brown, overtaking Calvin Johnson as the Lions franchise leader for receiving yards through 3 seasons. And he's done it through, 12 games? Now, obviously, thank you, studio audience. Obviously, we do get the extra game since Amon-Ra has been a professional. Like, that's pretty cool. I'd say that's a huge positive. But at the same time, it's like, look, yeah, he gets the extra game. And that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. To be able to do that and do so with 5 games remaining on the schedule is pretty flippin' incredible. And then we get a Bruce Irvin spotting. So we're still in the first quarter. Lions have scored 3 times in the first 7 minutes. Derek Carr has got the football. They are at their own 30-yard line, and Bruce Irvin wants to check in and say, "Hey guys, welcome me to Detroit. I'm the new guy here."
And a running back. Saints looking for their first down. They're not gonna get it. Carr is sacked by Bruce Irvin.
That's why they brought him in here. He's got some speed, as Dan Campbell said after the game. He's got some left in the tank. Like, it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And back to Sam Laporta real quick. Becomes the first tight end in NFL history to produce 55 receptions, 550 yards, and 6 touchdowns through 12 career games. Right? There are some of these LeBron James stats, but then there's also one like for the first time since 1936. It was Ace Katowski and Dutch Clark. The Lions have 2 players with 600 yards rushing and 5 rushing touchdowns in the same season. Right? These two, Thunder and Lightning, Peanut Butter and Jelly, whatever you want to call Bruce Irvin and company. Or not Bruce Irvin, but whatever you want to call Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, like those two together, the running attack has been simply sensational. I want to give a special moment of recognition here to Jalen Reeves-Maben, who had 4 special teams tackles, and we were in the first half. The most special teams tackles by a Lions player has produced in either half of a game, so congratulations to him. New Orleans would eventually get back on the board. For the first time, they were 1st and 10 from their own 16. They went 13 plays, 84 yards, and 639 to make it 21-7. Detroit would get a 12-play, 62-yard drive, and 5-16 that they'd be able to tack on a Riley Patterson field goal. They took over 1st and 10 from the 30, ended up at the 8-yard line. And look, I'm good with that. Take the points. Now, I know there was a point later on in the game. We come out in the second half. New Orleans goes touchdown. Then we punt. They score right back again. Touchdown again. It's 24-21, and this might have been a point of contention throughout the Lions fandom. But they were 4th and 4 to New Orleans 8. Jared Goff comes in. They try to go hard count to get New Orleans to jump offside. New Orleans stays disciplined. Credit to them. That's totally fine. They back them up. 4th and 9 at the 13. Riley Patterson comes in. 32-yard chip shot. Gets out his lob wedge. Knocks it down. Folks, that is absolute, like what you're seeing here from this coaching staff. It's not about Dan Campbell all of a sudden being conservative. It's about learning what worked and what didn't work throughout the course of the season. And momentum plays a monstrous role in the football game. You are on the road. You have the ball inside the 5-yard line. Their team has touched the ball twice in this half and has scored on each of those touches and looked damn good doing it. Like, that's concerning. You're up 3 points. You can go up 6 if you take the field goal. If you don't, you could very easily be down 4, 28-24, because it feels like New Orleans is going to score. It just does. And so what happens? Dan Campbell, they go hard count. They learn from the Seattle game when it didn't work. And Seattle's okay because you're at home. But you're on the road. You got to take the points. You have to. When I first saw them trot out, man, I was like, oh God, here we go. Like, do not. This is unnecessary. You can ask my buddy Gianni, who's sitting right here. He's like, no. I said, absolutely not. Just take the points. And then you could tell, okay, hard count, boom. New Orleans isn't jumping. That's totally fine. Back it up 5 yards, take the field goal, and be done with it. Take the points, because you never know what's going to happen. You have no idea. But if you put the 3 on the board, you play a little defense, you feel good getting the ball back because now you're up 27-21. You're up 6. The only thing that can get you right now is a touchdown. So if you hold them to a field goal, instead of it being a tie ball game, you're still up 3. If they score and get the extra point, you're down 1. Field goal can still win you the game. I love the field goal in that position. I think it's great management. I don't think you're costing your team anything. I think you're weighing the odds of converting versus not converting. And if you don't convert, New Orleans has all the momentum in the world at home. You just put the points on the board and be done with it. The very next possession is a fumble. How did that happen? I have no idea. But Derek Carr fumbles it, and the Lions end up in great field position. Before we get into that, I do want to also highlight this play right here from Sam Laporta.
Both running backs out there for this first down play. Goff looking to throw. Wide open Laporta. Blown coverage has Sam Laporta racing inside the 15-yard line.
That was the play that set him up. Big gain, 48 yards. Big gain to get them in field goal range. All right, so you're up 27-21. Fumble happens, and now you're going to take over 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Jahmyr Gibbs went to the right tackle to the New Orleans 19 for 7 yards, and it's 2nd and 3 now from the 19-yard line. And it's a long 3, too. And Ben Johnson and the Detroit Lions, we want to see more of this. We've seen this out of multiple formations. We've seen the inverted wishbone where Amon-Ra's taking it. We've seen, reverses and double reverses. We love to get the ball to Jameson Williams in open space. And what I love about this play, I'll tell you after you listen to it.
End around and a reverse. Here comes Jameson Williams. Explodes to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Superman dive for number 9.
What I love about this play is that when they go with the initial handoff to Khalif Raymond, they got Khalif Raymond going to the wide side of the field, to the field side, right? And all of a sudden, the entire New Orleans defense, outside of the guy who has man coverage on J-Mo, who I thought did a really good job of staying disciplined and trying to track him down. He just got blocked later on down the line. The entire box, if you will, ends up moving to the field side. So now you got J-Mo coming boundary side. That's the near side as the Lions are working left to right across your TV screen. And Jameson Williams is just lightning. No one's catching him. Just lightning fast. And there's an opportunity where it's okay. And he had a big catch earlier in the game as well. Really big grab earlier in the game. And I think that the play call is very creative. The play call is an opportunity to get one of your playmakers the ball in some space, and it's desperately needed in order to get that touchdown. Because you get that touchdown, you go up now 33-21. You feel pretty good about that. You went for 2, you didn't get it, that's okay. That's all right. You still have a 12-point lead. And, man, I mean, it felt good. The Saints would score a touchdown on their next drive, marching all the way down the field. Detroit would have to punt. It got a little suspect there, got a little hairy at the end, but a big stop on defense. And then really, what a ballsy play at the end of the game. 1st and 10 with 2:56 to kill on the clock. It was a 3rd and 9. Jared Goff hit Josh Reynolds to gain 12 yards, stood in that pocket, took a shot, and that is just, it's game. Blouses. That's what did it. And you got to be overly thrilled with how the Lions were able to close that out on the road. We'll step aside. Hour 2 is next.
Huge here for Urban U. They are Michigan's favorite med spa locations throughout West Michigan and also on the east side of the state in Northville. And this is for any guy listening right now or lady. If you want the perfect holiday gift for somebody you care about, you need to think about the holiday specials happening at theurbanu.com. That's theurbanu.com. And for the holidays, Urban U is offering holiday tiers. Until December 30th through the end of the year, purchasing a holiday tier is the perfect way to treat yourself or that person in your life that you care about or your family. And you get your holiday gift shopping done quick at theurbanu.com. And what are holiday tiers? Holiday tiers are the best way to get rewarded big time for investing in your health, wellness, and beauty services. Simple and easy. If you want to take care of everything for the holidays, go to theurbanu.com.
Deck
your cart with Meijer savings.
This year, give the gift of savings from Meijer.
Santa Bucks will save you plenty. Fa-la-la-la.
Plus, stack your savings when you shop super low prices with the Meijer Super Sale.
Ho, ho, ho! Savings for all!
Don't wait to shop and save with Super Sale and Santa Bucks this Friday and Saturday only at Meijer. Plus, get a $10 coupon when you spend $100 or more this week in store. Print it at checkout. Start redeeming next week. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Merc Perks from Mercantile Bank is here. Merc Perks checking has all you need to plan your busy lifestyle. Travel services for hotels, airfare, and cruises, cashback rewards, and even savings on prescriptions, eyewear, and dental work. Merc Perks also includes all the traditional benefits you love, like online and mobile banking, and fee-free access to almost 40,000 MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mymercperks.com, member FDIC.
Roast Umber is a farm direct coffee sourced from Central American farmers and roasted in Grand Rapids. And also the Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is a convenient and healthy option for energy with no sugar additives. Look for it at your local retailer or at roastumber.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here. AB's doing a heck of a job, and I'm ready to drop some huge opinions about what he's talking about later today at 3 on the Michigan Sports Network.
Good morning, everyone.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Good Monday morning to you, the 4th day of December 2023. Hour number 2 coming at you live here on the Michigan Sports Network. Man, what a great day. Victory Monday. It is here. It's pretty sensational. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 866-838-4843. 866-838 huge 866-838-4843. I was told to give the phone number out and do it a little bit slower for the folks, so I'm trying my hardest. Just save the number, would you? Oh, it's great. Got some text messages coming in early this morning. The playoff committee always had a big thing for anyone SEC, and this just proves it. Jay on Facebook, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. The fact that ESPN owns the rights to the ACC network. I mean, if I'm the ACC, what is your conference right now? You're completely disrespected. They clearly just do not care about you as a whole. And I thought that the statement there from the ACC, the statement from Florida State's head coach was sensational. Good for them. James on YouTube, I think the Lions' ownership of the NFC North is over. Green Bay is scary good. James. We beat the Chiefs as well. We played a really bad game against Green Bay. We spotted them how many points? 21 in the first. And look, we got it all back this past week. We did to New Orleans what Green Bay did to us, right? We won that turnover margin. You start to think about it, a tale as old as time, right? The Lions won the rushing battle 142 to 113. And they won the turnover margin +2. Like, you win the ground game, you win the turnover margin, you're going to win games. Like, that's just how it goes. Like, that's the recipe for success in the game of football. You can have the aerial attack all you want, you can win on the ground, you win the turnover battle, you're going to be in good shape. And another text message came in here. Did I hear correctly? The Lions yesterday passed for the first time in the fourth quarter with the lead in about 30 to 40 years. I would need context for that. I did not hear. I was bouncing back and forth between the radio broadcast and the television broadcast, because there was just a point in the TV broadcast I'm like, all right, okay, I get it. Like, I don't know how much of this I can really take. Really don't get, like, how bothersome this is for me to listen to this Daryl Johnston. I don't know why he was, bagging on the Lions what felt like most of the broadcast. But I was like, let's see what TJ and Lomas and my man Dan Miller have to say about it. Also, by the way, I guess we absolutely should put this out there. We've got a breaking news bulletin, folks, coming out of the world of college football. I never thought we would see the Ohio State Buckeyes get broken the way that they have been. Michigan has done it to them, folks. They have done it to him. Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord, who started all season for the Buckeyes, has entered his name into the transfer portal this morning. Happy trails, Mr. McCord. Don't want to be that guy that can't beat Michigan. Don't want to be that guy to ever play that breaking news sound effect ever again. Ryan, where is the one that Dan had? That's the one that where did he take that? That's what I need to know. Where is that breaking news bulletin? All right, what else is going on in the sports world? We'll try to get you all caught up with all the happenings. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
No, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories in the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
Huge news. Mitch Trubisky expected to start Thursday against the New England Patriots for The Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickett expected to be sidelined a couple of weeks after injuring his right ankle against the Arizona Cardinals. Trubisky took over, finished the game 11 of 17 for 117 and a touchdown. He did also lose a fumble. Bad loss there for the Steelers, 24-10 to the Arizona Cardinals. Ugh. The Jets are mulling to change to a fourth starting quarterback after Tim Boyle struggles. You knew that was going to happen. It went from Aaron Rodgers for a snap to Zach Wilson to Tim Boyle. Could Trevor Siemian be next? Brutal. 13-8 loss to the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, they don't have a quarterback. Been telling you this for how long? Luka Doncic exhausted as the Mavs fell despite a record 30-0 run that they went on against the Oklahoma City Thunder, the biggest in the NBA since at least 1997 and 98, according to the Elias Sports Bureau. Doncic, 36 points, 15 rebounds, 18 assists were not enough to avoid a 126-120 loss to the Thunder. You got to play defense. It's really hard, but you got to do it. The Suns' Kevin Durant passed Moses Malone. He's now 10th all-time in scoring in the NBA books. A subpoena has been issued for Ja Morant to testify in a civil lawsuit. So the subpoenas have been issued to the star basketball player and members of his family to appear and testify in an upcoming court hearing for a civil lawsuit in Memphis. The lawsuit dates back more than a year and accuses Morant of assaulting a teenager during a pickup basketball game. We're still not over that, and good. I never want to see Ja Morant back in the league ever again, but he more than likely will. Why do I say that? Because he doesn't deserve to play, period. It's a privilege. It's not a right. It's a privilege to play professional sports. And if you can't act right, you don't belong in the league. Kristaps Porzingis with a calf injury is going to miss the Celtics NBA in-season tournament quarterfinal matchup, whatever the hell this thing is. Suffered the injury on November 24th in a loss to who? The Orlando Magic, my sleeper team this year. Can't believe that. Injured Cale Makar missed Colorado Avalanche's 4-1 loss. Makar sat out the final 2:57 of the third period and in overtime. He leads the NHL with 27 assists, and his 34 points are tied with Vancouver's Quinn Hughes for the most by a defenseman. Those Hughes boys are good at that hockey stuff. The college football playoff is set. Your top four seeds, according to the College Football Playoff Committee and not Rationale. Number 1 is Michigan. Number 2 is Washington. Number 3 is Texas. And number 4 is Alabama. So it'll be Michigan and Alabama to the Rose Bowl, Washington and Texas to the Sugar Bowl. I like this a lot. I don't know. I think I'm almost positive, and I hate to say this out loud, but I don't know for sure. But the number 1 seed gets to pick their destination. And you might be thinking, like, why the Rose Bowl? Well, obviously the tie-in with the Big Ten to the Rose Bowl, is one reason. It's historical relevance. But 2, make Alabama fans travel. We like that. They'll travel. They will. But it's a whole lot better to take them out west than it is to try to take your team to the Sugar Bowl, where you know you're going to be outmanned there. Probably a 60-40 split at best. Washington and Texas will head to the All-State Sugar Bowl. By the way, both of these games on New Year's Day, a 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time kickoff for Michigan and Alabama, which will be 2 o'clock local time, followed up by the 8:45 kick for the All-State Sugar Bowl. Both games televised on ESPN. Florida State, the first ever undefeated conference champion to not make, in the Power 5 that is, to not make the Final Four in college football. They will get Georgia in the Orange Bowl. Absolutely atrocious that happened to the Seminoles. Why? Because their starting quarterback got hurt. Like we've never heard of Tom Brady, like we've never heard of Cardale Jones. But sure, committee, whatever. Ryan's older cousin, or younger cousin, I should say, Boo Buie, scored 7 of his 31 in overtime. How about Northwestern? They beat Zach Edey and the number 1 Purdue Boilermakers for the second straight season, winning 92-88 Friday night. And I know that Ryan was on the edge of his seat cheering on his family member, Boo Buie. That's his guy. And then how about Wisconsin? Wisconsin beat number 3 Marquette for a 3rd straight season. Congratulations to the Badgers. That's a big-time dub, 75-64 on Saturday. Good for them. Longtime manager Jim Leyland has been selected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the skipper and Perrysburg, Ohio alum. So if our good folks in Perrysburg are tuned in right now, there's a shout-out to them. Go to Levis Commons. Detroit Lions, 33-28 winners over the New Orleans Saints. Plenty more to go in that game right there. The Wings won over the weekend, 5-4 on the road in Montreal in overtime. So congratulations to the Wings. They split their season series to date right now. They're tied 1-1. They lost game 1 to the Canadiens 3-2 in overtime. They'll see each other again on the 15th and 16th of April. So one more at home, one more on the road against Montreal, and the Detroit Pistons 110-101 losers over the weekend to the Cleveland Cavaliers, their 17th consecutive loss. We'll step aside, back with more X's and Bros after this. Michigan Sports Network.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Josh Garvey. Now, he is a managing shareholder at Br0's, soon to be Doran Mayhew at the end of the year. And with the merger, there is growth and a chance for you to fill an executive or other high-level finance-related roles, either at Br0 here in downtown Grand Rapids or over at the Doran Mayhew World Headquarters in Troy, or at any of their offices across the country and around the world. They have a national specialized talent pool with ideal candidates for long-term placement, ongoing support for post-placement success. So if you're looking for that next chapter in your professional career, talk to Josh Garvey and the team at Br0. Easiest way, you can call Br0, ask for Josh Garvey, or go to their website, BENEGARTR.com, or look for Br0, soon to be Doran Mayhew, on Facebook and on Twitter.
Hi, I'm Casey. I don't just work at Meijer, I shop there. Get a $10 coupon like I just did when you spend $100 or more this week in store. Print it at checkout. Start redeeming next week. And get a Meijer spiral sliced ham for 89 cents per pound with M-Perks. Discount automatically applied when you enter your M-Perks ID Limit 1. And save even more with M-Perks with $1 off per gallon of gas. Get the same low prices in store and online. For big deals and great quality, shop Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here for Van Andel Institute Purple Community. Now, they're a grassroots fundraising network powered by the volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve health now and in the future. Learn more at purplecommunity.org.
You're listening to Michigan's statewide morning show, X's and Bros, right here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Golf season has officially come to a close at this point, folks. But Tullymore Golf Resort still more than ready to welcome you and your entire party up to the beautiful Canadian Lakes, Michigan, to go see their outstanding accommodations they have for everything that you and your party or you and your company are going to need. With rooms and accommodations for up to 400 of your closest friends and family, they've got plenty of space to cater to you, your partner, your foursome, or your coworkers, or whatever kind of gathering you may have. Go experience the beautiful Tullymore Golf Resort at tullymoregolf.com. Tullymore.golf.com. Canadian Lake, smack dab in the middle of the state, easy to get to no matter what direction you are coming from. Very centrally located. 1-800-972-4837, 1-800-972-4837. Book your stay and play at Tullymore today. Also, never too early to start thinking about 2024 as well. Now, I want to get into what took place with Florida State. Let's do a little college football here. Get back into the Lions coming up in hour number 3. But what took place on Sunday is an absolute travesty. And I saw this video floating around from the late, great Mike Leach when he was talking about the college football playoff of the committee back when he was the head coach at Washington State.
You know, we're American. We love committees. Let's get us a committee. Well, who should be on the committee? Well, I don't know. This guy's a good guy. Let's have him on the committee. Well, I mean, there's people on the committee that don't even have remote associations with football, nor have they at any level other than being a fan. But you know what? Let's have them on a committee. Why not? And then we'll decide which 4 teams should go. Because you know why? We don't need to solve this on the field because we're the ones that know. And then, so, I mean, you know, if we're going to do it that way, we should just ask them at the beginning of the season, you know, just go ahead and you guys vote on it, figure out 1, 2, 3, and 4, and why even have the games? I mean, how can you call it a playoff when there's 4 teams? Conference champions don't even necessarily make the playoffs because you know why? Because the committee knew better.
Mike Leach, ladies and gentlemen. Guy had a lot figured out. One of my absolute favorites from the world of college football, and it's unfortunate we no longer get the opportunity to have him on the sidelines. Now, as for Florida State, your 2023 undefeated Atlantic Coast Conference champions. Congratulations to them. I understand, you know, that they would be, you know, they're going to tweet out the graphic of the Orange Bowl. Here we go, blah, blah, blah. Mike Norvell, the head coach of Florida State, had this to say, quote, "I am disgusted and infuriated with the committee's decision today to have what was earned on the field taken away because a small group of people decided they knew better than the results of the games. What is the point of playing the games? Do you tell players it's okay to quit if someone goes down? Do you not play a senior on senior day for the fear of injury? Where is the motivation to schedule challenging non-conference games? We are not only an unranked Power 5 conference champion, but we also played 2 Power 5 non-conference games away from home and won both of them. I don't understand how we are supposed to think this is an acceptable way to evaluate a team. I'm hurting for our players who have displayed a tremendous amount of resilience and response this season. What happened today goes against everything that is true and right in college football. A team that overcame tremendous adversity and found a way to win, doing whatever it took on the field, was cheated today. And it's a sad day for college football. I'm proud with the work that we have put in and the players I have the privilege to coach. We have one more opportunity to define this 2023 team in the Orange Bowl, and I believe in how our team will respond." It's a good statement there from the coach. Very good statement from the coach. I cannot for the life of me figure out how in the world the College Football Playoff Committee decided to go with that. Now, the statement from the ACC Commissioner, Jim Phillips, he was one of the people that was responsible for, no 12-team playoff this year, so whatever. PhD, Jim Phillips, whatever. It's unfathomable that Florida State, an undefeated Power 5 conference champion, was left out of the college football playoff. Their exclusion calls into question the selection process and whether the committee's own guidelines were followed, including the significant importance of being undefeated Power 5 conference champion. My heart breaks for the talented FSU student athletes and coaches and their passionate, loyal fans. Florida State deserves better. College football deserved better. It's a pretty interesting statement. You're right. They absolutely do. And so many people have already said, "Oh, you don't want to play Alabama." Dude, first off, I don't have to play Alabama. So let me make it clear for those that think that, "Oh, you're just afraid of Alabama." I'm not afraid of Alabama. I get a free trip to the Rose Bowl out of it. It's fine by me. Win, lose, or draw. Do I want my team to win? Absolutely. Do I think they can win? Absolutely. If they don't think they can win, you probably shouldn't play. Like, do you think the Lions walked into Arrowhead and said, "Oh my God, the Kansas City Chiefs, what are we going to do?" Like, that's the biggest loser attitude I have ever heard. And anybody who thinks that, "Oh, I don't want Alabama," you're a loser. You're soft. Like, why would you not want Alabama, first off? Well, look what they did in the situation. Who cares? How many years ago was that? If Alabama comes out and beats your brains in 41-0, then guess what? They're the better football team. If you go out there and you beat them, then guess what? You're the better football team. How in the world are you going to try to tell me that I, Anthony Bellino, am afraid of Alabama? I'm not going out there to tackle anybody. Why would I be afraid? It makes zero sense to me whatsoever. So this has nothing to do with who the Michigan Wolverines are squaring up against. This has everything to do with the fact that once they put Georgia at 6, the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall. That was it. Texas at 3, the writing was on the wall. I don't know how, let's remove Alabama from the equation real quick. I have been telling you for how long that the ACC is a fraudulent conference carried by one team, Clemson. I have been saying that for years. Why? Because it's the truth. It's the truth. But this is a travesty. You could tell me, you can tell me all you want about strength of schedule. The SEC is, how many ranked teams they beat? I think, what is Tennessee ranked right now with 4 losses? Like, stop it. They went and took on LSU and beat LSU. Florida State did in the first game of the season, 45-24. 45-24. Like, what? They played the schedule in front of them, man. I don't know what else you want from me. They beat Clemson. They beat Duke. Rivalry game against Miami. Senior day, you lose your quarterback. You're a broken leg, and he's tweeting out that he wishes he would have broke his leg earlier in the season so that everyone could see what this team is made of. That's what we've come to? Like where a kid has to apologize, "I'm sorry I got my leg broken," and you don't think we're any good anymore. Like, that's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Like, the fact that this has happened, to me, is a travesty. And this is why I know people say the college football is better. In what regard? Because you have a band? Because there's some, tradition to act like the NFL doesn't have fight songs and traditions of their own? Like, come on. If NIL and the transfer portal didn't make this sport like the Wild West, now you have a committee selecting who's your playoff teams, and they can't even get that right. Like, that's awful. So please, anybody who's going to try to tell me that sport is better than the NFL, you are out of your damn mind. Well, the regular season matters. The regular season doesn't matter. Apparently it doesn't. Because Florida State just got screwed. And the fact that people think that this brand, would this have happened if Bobby Bowden was there? Would this have happened if Bobby Bowden was there? He'd have walked himself right to that committee's office, and it'd have been a fist fight in that thing. Committee members. Bunch of nerds. Just absolutely awful what they've done. We'll step aside. We're back with more X's and Bros after this. Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com. At MHSAA on Twitter and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Book your stay this fall in a luxurious first-class room and receive $50 premium play, a $20 spa credit, and a $25 dining credit. Rates are just $289 a night, Sunday through Thursday, and $339 on Fridays and Saturdays. Reserve your room now, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
The Freddie the Pizza Man Foundation is dedicated to providing support to families and Michigan schools touched by autism. We invite you to join us in supporting these families and schools by making a donation at FreddieThePizzaMan.com. With your donation, you can help provide essential resources that can make a real impact. Visit FreddieThePizzaMan.com to make a donation and to learn more about the foundation's mission. That's FREDI ThePizzaMan.com. Together, we can make a difference.
Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000. Now, back to X's and Bros with Anthony Bellino here on the Michigan Sports Network.
You know, in the NBA, the game could change in an instant, but no matter how the action unfolds, you know DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub, and best of all, it's safe, secure, and reliable. With 24/7 support, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever, wherever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE. Promo code HUGE. New customers get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, only using the promo code HUGE. The crown is yours. Now, if you or somebody who has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117. Must be 21 or older, physically present. Michigan. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Now, I want to take you to the best thing that I saw this weekend. Came from College Game Day. I know, ESPN. So they're getting there. They're there, and they're the SEC championship game, and of course they are. Georgia versus Alabama. Desmond, Reese, Pat McAfee, Theon, whatever that guy's name is, whatever the hell he's doing there. Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, the gang's all there. And Pat McAfee has been an awesome addition to College Game Day. I love Pat McAfee. I like his show a lot. I think he's highly entertaining. I think he's funny. I think they just do things differently, and it's admirable, seeing where he was able to take a podcast and launch himself into this kind of career. It's pretty crazy. Now, it helps that he was a professional football player. That definitely helps. But at the end of the day, it's still pretty awesome. He's got an incredible personality for it, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You get all the stats and facts and figures, and you could know everything. You'd be an encyclopedia. If you don't have the personality for it, it ain't going to work. And that's one of those things that modern-day television is starting to kind of evolve into. If you look to where we're at today versus where we were at, in 2000 and prior to, they want, you got to have some juice out there. Friday nights on BCSN, that was one of the things, look, we can do this, but let's have some fun. If we're having fun, the audience is going to have fun. So let's have some fun, shall we? The best thing I saw this weekend was Pat McAfee doing this.
29 straight wins, back-to-back national champions. What's that coming down the track? It's the mean machine in the red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs! Go Dogs!
Wow.
Give me Alabama to break home.
Pat Mac, that's just incredible. The Georgia barking thing is real. That's real. When Michigan played Georgia down at the Orange Bowl in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium, and I was walking around, and I had this young child, I would say 6, but I'm not, she's probably 11 or 12. First off, they all get bedazzled to go to the game. They don't believe in just wearing a team shirt and jeans. That's not it. You got these women that are dressed to the nines to go to a football game. It's different in the South. You know what I'm saying? Down there in the South. And, they bark at you. I was walking on the concourse. I was going to grab a couple beers to come back, and this little kid pops out of nowhere. So just starts barking. Like, oh, my God. She's lucky I didn't throw my beer and hit her in the head with it. Scared the dickens out of me. I was not expecting that at all. I was like, harmless child, right? You just walk by, and the next thing you know, she pops out she flanks me. I'm like, whoa. Jeez. They do that every kickoff, the barking. The fact that Pat McAfee had the song down and then pulled the rug out on him, I loved it.
Go Dogs!
They're all hyped up, feeling good. He's like, yep, I got him.
Give me Alabama to
Oh, the conviction in which he said it, too. All right, let's get into the old gym coach says FSU won the ACC champion, dropped one spot, got passed by a team ranked 4 spots below them who was ranked 3 to 4 spots below them all year. It doesn't make any sense. It literally makes no sense. It's a travesty what happened to Florida State. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I know that the ACC, and I've said it for a long time, has had their water carried by Clemson, but it's no different than what the Big Ten was with Ohio State's reign of terror. It's the same thing. You know, you have 4 teams ranked in the top 25 to end the season. They gave Clemson, with an 8-4 overall record, the 22nd ranking. They ranked Clemson 22. They're 8-4. They gave NC State 18. They're at 9-3. 10-3 Louisville dropped to 15. Florida State 13-0. Conference champions. You know, everybody wants to talk about their quarterback getting injured. How about the fact that they only had 207 points scored against them all season? Like that's pretty good, don't you think? I mean, I think so. But that's just me. Apparently, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Michigan's 13-0. They won a conference champion. Why do they get in and Florida State doesn't? How come? Why is that? Why does Michigan deserve to get in and Florida State doesn't? I mean, if we're going to just look at the box score of the game, we could just look at the statistics. Michigan had a team total net rushing yards of 66 in the game against Iowa. And they threw for 147 yards. That's why, Iowa's defense is good. They are good. They are a very gap-disciplined team. Their defense is great. Good for them. Their offense stinks. Their offense is atrocious. And I don't think that's an overnight fix either. Total yards, Michigan had 213 total yards. This is why I said, and people laughed at me when I said it, 213 yards, is that what I just said? You know how many yards they spent punting? 353. My math was good. I'm like, we might not get 300 yards of total offense. And we didn't, Michigan. But they're definitely going to punt for 300 yards. The kid averages 50 yards a punt. They're going to punt 6 times in the game because they can't get a first down. Like, 6 times 5 is 30. There's 300 yards. Like, that to me was a no-brainer. I thought it was a great bet. Not like I was betting on it, but I'm just saying, in general, they got no offense. In the Big Ten championship game, Iowa had 7 first downs. Michigan had 12. Michigan was 3 of 15 on third down and 1 of 1 on fourth down. Iowa was 4 of 15 on third down and 0 for 3 on fourth. I'm sorry. Iowa fumbled the football 3 times. Like, you guys didn't think that was a great game, did you? Let's go drive chart for you. There's total drives, both teams. You're going to know who's who. Punt, field goal, punt, touchdown, punt, 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 fumble, punt, 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 end of half. Punt, fumble, touchdown, turnover on downs, field goal, punt, punt, fumble, field goal, turnover on downs, field goal, turnover on downs. Like, what? So and look, I'm being honest. Explain to me how you watch that Big Ten championship game and you say that Michigan's the number 1 team in the country, but yet Florida State doesn't get in. That's all I want to know. Explain that to me. Now, I was able to watch the Pac-12 championship game. That was a lot of fun on Friday night. I know more than you tweets in. Who has Florida State played? They beat number 5 LSU the first game of the season, so you could stop that argument right away. With your argument, Liberty should be in the playoff. That's what who they played? They played an ACC schedule. So I'll get back to this guy here momentarily because obviously he knows more than me, but he's an idiot. Flat out, point blank, period. And this narrative here that the SEC is the almighty and all being is kind of preposterous to me. Is Georgia a good football team? Yes. Is Alabama a good football team? Yes. Is Texas good? Yeah. Washington? Sure. Oregon? I mean, Oregon was the favorite and Washington had already beat them. Like that, I mean, for the people that say, oh, Michigan doesn't want Alabama, Michigan's the favorite in the football game. In case you were unaware. Like, they are the favorite in the football game. Like, how in the world is that even possible? But that's the way they see it. And I keep seeing the argument, well, if Vegas what? If Vegas what? If Vegas wants, if they put these 4 teams in who, then how would you, it's all about the teams you don't want to play. That's what it's all about. That's what it's about. It's about who Vegas thinks is the best 4 teams in college football. It's about, like, who gives us the best matchup. It's not about who earned it out on the field. Well, then Mike Leach is right. Why do we even play the games? What's the point? There's always been all this chatter all the time about the college football season means more and the NFL doesn't mean as much. The NFL is great. Every week matters. If you think every week in the NFL doesn't matter, I got a bridge I can sell you. Like, you're nuts. But who did Alabama play? Alabama barely beat Auburn. They won 27-24 and scored on a 4th and 20. They beat LSU, so did Florida State. Tennessee, they were ranked all year. They're still overranked. Ole Miss, and they lost to Texas. But they beat Middle Tennessee State. They beat South Florida by 14. Congratulations. Texas A&M, they're not good. Mississippi State, they aren't good. Arkansas, you beat by 3 points at home. Get out of here. But it's Alabama and Nick Saban. The brand is big. The brand is big. And at least Texas, and if you want to make the argument, well, what about Texas? Texas won head-to-head against Alabama, so they're in. That's it. You're taking the Big 12 champion. That's it. The committee couldn't leave the SEC out. They've left the Big 10 out. They left the Big 12 out. Have they left the Big 10 out? Now that I think about it. Ryan, do you know that off the top of your head? They've definitely left the Pac-12 out. Ryan is on the line. Thank God. Good morning, Ryan. Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, we were trying to live test on my mic. Not work.
Oh, now it's got you all choked up. No reason to get emotional. I'm the one being emotional for Florida State.
Yeah, and Anthony, I get all your points, but Michigan fans complaining about Florida State not getting in the playoff is like, it's like when the fast food workers complain about like the minimum wage. It's like, yes, you're making great points, but are you really the person that should be spearheading this? That's where it comes off as. But you're 100% right. Like, I was getting in arguments on Twitter Saturday night after everything. It's be like, well, Texas doesn't deserve to be in. It should be Alabama, Georgia. Because who are you most scared of? When you see the matchups, like, that doesn't matter. It's like, if that's the case, then let's just look at the last 4 weeks of the season and take the 4 hottest teams, which in that case, Alabama still wouldn't make it because, as you said, they had to struggle versus a horrible Auburn team, which all Auburn did was take Peyton Thorne and say, hey, run the ball. Yeah. Peyton Thorne, not a fast guy. Like, so we're taking the 4 hottest teams. It's like, okay, does Toledo get in before the MAC championship then? They're a hot team. Do we take Missouri?
And those are all legitimate questions. Like, you're talking about a Bama team that needed a 4th and 20 against Auburn, a Bama team that barely beat Arkansas at home, a Bama team that won 17-3 over South Florida at the beginning of the year. Oh, they're the hottest team in the country. They played Chattanooga 3 weeks ago. Like, congratulations on beating Kentucky.
Texas versus Alabama. That game didn't matter in fans' eyes.
Well, of course not, because Texas won.
So it's like if to other people, oh, that Texas-Alabama game, it doesn't matter, then you're not allowed to complain about Michigan scheduling 3 nobodies in non-conference. Because if those games don't matter, weeks 1 through 3 when you're playing non-conference, why schedule anybody?
And that should be the biggest argument for Florida State, because they said, you know what, give us LSU week 1. We'll beat them 45-24. And sure, is their quarterback hurt? Yeah. But, dude, injuries happen. Like, stuff happens. They went on the road to Florida without their starting quarterback. They went to a third stringer and won the ACC championship. Like, you're telling me their team's not good enough?
Right. And honestly, what was the difference between the ACC championship game and the Big Ten championship game? Michigan had their starting quarterback. That was the only difference. Both games were garbage.
Well, Florida State had 219 yards. Michigan had 213. Florida State was 2 for 16 on third down, and Michigan was what did I just say, 3 or 4 for whatever, for 14, 15?
Yeah, they were the exact same games. Like, I'm sorry if you guys weren't watching both, and I understand if you weren't. You wanted to watch Michigan win their 3rd straight Big Ten title. I was watching both because I didn't have a dog in the fight. Guess what? They were both awful games. They were the exact same game.
And so when I think about Florida State, and the people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't be mentioning Florida State. You're just afraid to play Alabama. Dude, I'm bringing my own team into question here. I know they won the Big Ten championship. I get it. Like, cool. I get that Iowa's defense is great. Awesome. They covered the spread. Sweet. Like, our offense looked bad. Bad. If Samaj Morgan doesn't return that punt, and what a great play by the kid from Iowa, who's the first guy that misses the first tackle and then hustles his way all the way back to catch Samaj Morgan. That's crazy. I'm sure Samaj is going to hate himself for that. But it led to a touchdown, so it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, like, I am willing to call out my own team. Like, our offense looked putrid against Iowa.
Michigan's touchdown drives were a total of 14 yards or something like that? Yeah. Because it was the punt return and the fumble. So let's play hypotheticals, because college football fans love doing that. You take away those 2 plays, Michigan wins 12-0 on field goals. The sustained drives that they had throughout the game.
This is why the Big Ten gets clowned. This is why the rest of the country is like, oh, it's Big Ten football. Like, you look at Washington versus Oregon, and I get the Pac-12 doesn't play defense, and we have to respect good defense, and Iowa does have a good defense. I feel like that kid who, De La Salle, who was at Ford Field. We have a good defense, right? I feel like that kid right now. But the Oregon-Washington game, that was an exciting football game, 34-31. The defense in the Iowa-Michigan game was good, but part of that is a lack of the ability to execute offensively. Like, flat-out point-blank period. If I can say it about my own team, we can all be honest about it as well. Florida State got the screw, and it just is what it is. We'll step aside. Hour 3 is next. Don't go anywhere. Michigan Sports Network.
Huge here for Urban U. They are Michigan's favorite med spa locations throughout West Michigan and also on the east side of the state in Northville. And this is for any guy listening right now or lady. If you want the perfect holiday gift for somebody you care about, you need to think about the holiday specials happening at theurbanu.com. That's theurbanu.com. And for the holidays, Urban U is offering holiday tiers. Until December 30th through the end of the year, purchasing a holiday tier is the perfect way to treat yourself or that person in your life that you care about or your family. And you get your holiday gift shopping done quick at theurbanu.com. And what are holiday tiers? Holiday tiers are the best way to get rewarded big time for investing in your health, wellness, and beauty services. Simple and easy. If you want to take care of everything for the holidays, go to theurbanu.com.
Deck your cart with Meijer savings.
This year, give the gift of savings from Meijer.
Santa Bucks will save you plenty. Fa-la-la-la.
Plus, stack your savings when you shop super low prices with the Meijer Super Sale.
Ho, ho, ho! Savings for all!
Don't wait to shop and save with Super Sale and Santa Bucks this Friday and Saturday only at Meijer. Plus, get a $10 coupon when you spend $100 or more this week in store. Print it at checkout. Start redeeming next week. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
It's as easy as 1, 3. Wait, that's not how it goes. It's 1, 2, 3, like this. The Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police wants you to remember, always wear your seatbelt. Make it part of your routine. Just like that. Got it? Seatbelts save lives, and using them is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Roast Umber is a farm-direct coffee sourced from Central American farmers and roasted in Grand Rapids. And also the Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is a convenient and healthy option for energy with no sugar additives. Look for it at your local retailer or at roastumber.com.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here. AB's doing a heck of a job, and I'm ready to drop some huge opinions about what he's talking about later today at 3 on the Michigan Sports Network.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Defended in the corner.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker. Kenneth Walker. Touchdown. Smarty. Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up. Yes. Caught. Touchdown to Detroit Lions. They did it. Amon Ross St. Brown in the receiving end.
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here. A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back here. Hour number 3. Holy mackerel. Do we have some text messages coming in? The text messages, boy, I can't even talk. I feel like Lou Holtz right now. Text the keyword sports radio. Send it to 21,000. Sports radio to 21000. I swear I'll get to them. Call us on the Meyer Supercenter guest line. Save the number 866-838-4843. 866-838-4843. 866-838-HUGE. Let's get to Freddie on the line. Wants to talk Lions and college football. Good morning, Freddie. I know you were sweating like a dog yesterday.
Why is that?
Well, you were probably working. It was a Sunday, right? You're open during the Lions game hours?
Oh, yeah. It was extremely – when I tell you Friday, first of the month, baby, this weekend was Lions out the door.
Cash only at the I'm telling you, cash only at the bar. You know, these communists want to get rid of cash, Freddie. I don't like it. I don't want Bitcoins. I don't want Monopoly money. I don't want Venmo, Apple Pay, Google Plus. I don't want subscriptions to coin services. Get it out of here. Cash only.
I wish, buddy. Trust me, I wish. So, anyways, when you do read the text, now don't forget to read my beautiful text I sent you, okay? I know it's going to make you mad, but don't forget to read it, okay? Now,
I read them all.
Good. No, not really. You really don't. But let's get into it now. First of all, on the college Final Four, you know, I'm not going to waste much time on it. I mean, they screwed up, and you cannot. Like I told my guy Clarence yesterday on Twitter. I told my boy, I said, Clarence, you walk into that locker room, and you tell these kids you're not going to the Final Four. You go ahead and do that. These kids won every game. They did what they were supposed to do. And you think it's bad now? You wait till next year when there's a 12-game playoff. The conference games don't matter. The Ohio State, Michigan game won't matter. They got it wrong. It's terrible. And to be honest with you, they screwed Michigan State as well too, because when Mel Tucker was there, they were 2-0. You know, if Mel Tucker stayed, they would have been 12-0, and the Michigan State should have been in the Final Four. They screwed the whole thing
What?
Up,
Whoa. What? You think a win over Central Michigan State was going to run the tail? Freddie, I know you're trying to aggravate me right now. Get out of here. That's a disastrous. Stop laughing at me. Don't make my blood boil right now, Frederick.
No, I meant everything else I said, but yeah, the Michigan State one was a joke. Now, anyway, let's get to the Lions. Good win. I mean, what more can you say? Good win. And you got to be happy. Now, I'm the guy, I've been telling you, and I won't change my tune. I signed golf, good guy, but I got to give him credit, man. Yesterday he did what I've been saying for 2 years. You got to, when you need a big play, I've been harping on that play versus the Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving last year. I've been harping on that play. When you need to make a big play, whether it's scramble out of pressure, make a big throw. Yesterday he did both. David Montgomery missed one, and the second one, he made it happen again. This time Josh Reynolds caught it, and Goff took a big hit. That's what you need from your team leader. That's what you need from your quarterback. You scramble out of a play when it breaks down, and you make a big throw. That's what you want, and you got to give him credit for that. You keep doing that, I'm telling you, the sky is the limit for the Detroit Lions. It really is. The sky's the limit, Anthony. I was so happy. And I actually got to see that. I was so happy.
I'm glad you brought up the David Montgomery play because I didn't talk about that when we were recapping the game early on, going through the drive chart. That one, I mean, it went off his face, Freddie. Hit him in the face mask. And I was like, oh, God, no, please. Oh, no. Yeah. Say it ain't so. Like he catches that at the first down. He catches that at the line, right? And then the guy literally, once he catches it, just doesn't even have to do anything. Just fall over. You're going to get the first down right there. And the fact that Goff connected with Josh Reynolds, my man Josh Reynolds. I mean, my God, how happy were you with that end around too, where they went? I guess it's a reverse, to Jamison Williams. I mean, the ability if they could find more ways to get that young man the ball in space. I mean, his speed is second to none.
Absolutely, Anthony. And when David Montgomery, I'll be honest with you, he missed that. I thought we were going to lose. Honestly, I thought we were going to lose that game because of that, because that's what we normally see. And then with J-Mo, I've been saying it for a long time. Put J-Mo, Josh Gibbs, and David Montgomery in the backfield. Make that, what do you call that, the old Oklahoma wishbone? Make it a wishbone and just make these guys go in three different directions. I don't even care. Make J-Mo a running back. Give him the ball once in a while. I'm telling you, if they can get this kid out in space and run the ball, whether it's an end around or running back or, I don't care. Put him behind center. Let him do wildcat. I don't care. I'm telling you, the Lions can do some damage because in reality, that's really how they're going to win. It's kind of slow the clock down, run the ball, because the defense is just not – they're just not there. They really are. They're depleted. They don't have enough in the interior line, and God bless them. But, hey, you never know, man. You get to the playoffs, you just never know, man. So, anyways, that's all I got today. I don't want to take up any more.
Hold on. Before you leave, I got a big question for you.
Oh, sure.
Big question for you. The Lions right now, through 12 games of the season, are 9-3. Are you pleased?
Oh, absolutely, I'm pleased. Absolutely, I'm pleased. But the thing is, for me, is you can't lose those games you lost on Thanksgiving. That was important, for fan morale, all that stuff. But I am pleased. But my biggest thing is, Anthony, I think we all know this. They've been in the playoffs since 8 times since 1992. They've lost all those games. Can the Lions fans handle getting to the playoffs this year and losing a playoff game? I don't know. I'm not going to be upset about it. Honestly, I'm not, because I think when you watch San Francisco and Philadelphia yesterday, and a couple other teams, I don't think you're up to par to them right now. But again, when you get to the playoffs, you just never know what could happen. You just never know. Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they won all their games on the road and won the Super Bowl. It could happen to the Detroit Lions. You just never know. You never know. So
this is true. This is very true. It is always, it's not, once you get in the tournament, it's not who the better team was all season. It's who's better on that individual day. And I think that when you look at the 49ers, 42-19 yesterday over the Philadelphia Eagles, the Eagles, for all the people that wanted Jalen Carter, I wasn't one of them, just because I believe that character matters, and we'll see what happens with the civil lawsuit against him and some of the decisions that he made, and whatever, however you feel about that's totally fine. But you didn't get him, and instead you got Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta out of it. And if you can't see the impact and the difference that those two have made, plus the fact that the Eagles' defense is suspect. Like they've given up more total yards than the Lions. Just for perspective, is that not insane?
Yeah, it is insane. I do want to see that Broderick Martin before the year is over. I really want to see him because they really raved about him. I want to see what that's all about. And don't forget, a couple of years ago, Green Bay was highly touted. They had a home playoff game, and San Francisco went there and beat them with the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So anything could happen. And all you Michigan, last thing, you Michigan haters, I want you to understand something. I love you all, even though you guys are crazy. Remember, I picked you to win it all at the beginning of the year. Remember, it was me that picked you to win it all this year. I still think you can do it, even though you guys are all arrogant, you-know-whats. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
All arrogant, you-know-whats? No. Francois, I don't know. You-know-whats. What are we? How dare that fine gentleman hang up the phone like that on the run? Unbelievable. Back with more after this. A lot of text messages here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Josh Garvey. Now, he is a managing shareholder at Br0's, soon to be Doran Mayhew at the end of the year. And with the merger, there is growth and a chance for you to fill an executive or other high-level finance-related roles, either at Br0 here in downtown Grand Rapids or over at the Doran Mayhew World Headquarters in Troy, or at any of their offices across the country and around the world. They have a national specialized talent pool with ideal candidates for long-term placement, ongoing support for post-placement success. So if you're looking for that next chapter in your professional career, talk to Josh Garvey and the team at Br0. Easiest way, you can call Br0, ask for Josh Garvey, or go to their website, BENEGARTR.com, or look for Br0, soon to be Doran Mayhew, on Facebook and on Twitter.
Hi, I'm Casey. I don't just work at Meijer, I shop there. Get a $10 coupon like I just did when you spend $100 or more this week in store. Print it at checkout. Start redeeming next week. And get a Meijer spiral sliced ham for 89 cents per pound with M-Perks. Discount automatically applied when you enter your M-Perks ID Limit 1. And save even more with M-Perks with $1 off per gallon of gas. Get the same low prices in store and online. For big deals and great quality, shop Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Van Andel Institute Purple Community is a grassroots fundraising network powered by the dedicated volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve human health now and in the future. When you raise funds through the Van Andel Institute Purple Community, 100% of the proceeds go directly to the Institute's research into diseases like cancer and Parkinson's, as well as VAI's science education programs. Learn how you can get involved at purplecommunity.org.
This is X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you ride along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening. Golf season might have come to a close, but it's never too early to start looking at 2024 and your schedule and what that might mean for you and your foursome or your playing partner to head on up to Tullymore Golf Resort Canadian Lakes, offering not one but two championship courses, Tullymore and St. Ives. Great to see Tiger back on the prowl this weekend. Canadian Lakes, an hour north of Grand Rapids, 30 minutes west of Mount Pleasant, easy to get to no matter what direction you are coming from. Visit TullymoreGolf.com, TullymoreGolf.com, or call 1-800-972-4837, 1-800-972-4837. Book your stay and play at Tullymore today. Welcome back here, X's and Bros. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio, 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line, 866-838-HUGE, 866-838-4843. We've got Matt on that Meyer Supercenter guest line. Wants to talk a little maize and blue. What's going on, Mateo? How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm pretty good. How you doing today?
I'm good. It's a Victory Monday. We're always good on a Victory Monday.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm just curious why so many people are critical of Michigan being 13-0. I mean, you play who's in front of you. You win every game, just like Florida State did, who obviously you could talk about that for days, about why they're not in it. They should be. But as far as Michigan fan or people, Michigan State fans or Ohio State fans criticizing their performance on Saturday evening, what difference does it make? They've had games like this. They had 280 total yards against Penn State. They won the football game on the road. Bowling Green, they looked horrific. They won 31-6. I mean, they've had games where J.J. McCarthy's thrown for less than he did on Saturday night. They still won the football game. So I just, they're finding ways to win, which is ultimately all that matters at this point in the season. So I'm looking forward to them playing Alabama. As a matter of fact, I'm glad it's Alabama because now their focus, they should be on high alert, and their focus should be more than it's been all year, as opposed to last year when they played TCU and seemed to look past them a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, you have a good day. Talk to you again.
Well, Matt, I want to tell you this before you go. See what's going to happen, Matt, and it's a little foreshadowing here. You still with me?
I'm with you.
All right. When Michigan beats Alabama, you know what they're going to say? It was a down year for Alabama. They lost to Texas. That's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Because every time,
just can't take it anymore.
No matter what Michigan does, the goalposts will always move. Penn State's a really good team. I've been telling people for months Penn State isn't that good. They should have lost their opening game against West Virginia. Neither here nor there. But you beat Penn State, and that's not good enough. And then you beat Ohio State, and, the Roman Wilson, Ohio State fans are still stuck over the fact that he had control of the football, crossed the plane, his knee was down, mute point, it's over. It's a touchdown, doesn't matter. The Ohio State kid could have taken the ball and then punted Roman Wilson into the stands and ran the ball 1,000 yards the other direction. It doesn't matter. His knee's down. He's got possession. He crossed the goal line. The play is done. It's over. It doesn't matter what happens after that. So that's fine and dandy. But you beat Ohio State. There was the sign stealing. You went to you played Iowa in the Big Ten championship game. There's no style points. Stylistically, we're not that good looking, and people hate that they continue to win games, and they just hate Michigan. That's what it comes down to. So anytime Michigan does something good, the goalposts will move to diminish the accomplishment. That's what it is.
Well, you have a nice week, sir. Go Lions, go blue.
Go Lions, go blue. They're both blue. I love it. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the call. Ton of text messages here. So let's get to them. You can join us too. Text the keyword Sports Radio, send it to 21,000. Or if you're like Matt and you just got to get it off your chest, give us a dial. Meyer Supercenter guest line, 866-838-4843. If Georgia wins the SEC and Florida State gets left out, are we still in such an uproar if FSU gets left out? The committee has always had SEC bias. They need to put an SEC team in, whether it's right or not. If Georgia beats Alabama, Florida State gets in. And I'll tell you why. Because it would diminish the win for Texas. Because that's how they would view it. In my opinion. Probably not. They would probably still withhold FSU out because they don't want Florida State in. They don't want them in. Plain and simple. The starting quarterback breaks his leg. The backup quarterback gets a concussion. The third string comes in. They won the game. You win by 1 or 100. Style points do not matter. It's, especially like you look at the Lions game. Were we on pins and needles? I just saw Jeremy Reisman, good friend of the show. Find him on Twitter at Detroit on Lion. from Pride of Detroit. Derek Carr did not throw an incompletion in the second half. Does it matter? In the grand scheme of things, does it matter? It's a hash mark in the win column. That's what matters. Can we have our own side concerns over here, a different conversation? Absolutely. Well, of course we can all be nervous about the defense and what that might look like. But at the end of the day, you got to win the football game. You got to win the football game. You win it on the ground, you win the turnover margin, you win the football game. It's a tale as old as time. You get creative in the run game. It's beautiful. The Big Ten was left out of the playoff back-to-back years. 2017 at Clemson, Oklahoma, Georgia, Bama. 2018, Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. Ohio State was ranked 5th in 2017, 6th in 2018. There you go. So as long as the SEC gets in, everybody else can get left out. Big 12 has been left out. I thought the Big Ten was left out. I don't remember, so thank you for that. The Pac-12's been out. ACC's been out. Like, it happens. But the SEC, they get a guaranteed spot because of the obsession over the SEC. And I get it. Prior to NIL, and probably, even still with NIL, I find it interesting that NIL comes into play and then all of a sudden, the SEC kind of takes a step back and everybody else kind of catches up. That's weird. Coincidence? I think not. However, the Sun Belt area will produce more pros than any other region of the country. And the SEC will send more guys to the NFL than any other conference in the country. Like, look at the 2019 LSU team, for God's sakes. Let's get to Dale on the line. Let's talk a little college football playoff. Good morning, Dale. How are you, my friend?
What's up, guys? Hey, before we get there, so I've actually met Ben Glaze one time at a movie theater for like a different show that he was on. I used to call into the Zane show and wanted to become friends with Zane. And I met Ben one time when he worked there. So now he's working there. Pretty cool, small world. Well, anyways,
he's famous. Ben Glaze is famous. Yeah, Ben Glaze. He's got his own glazed hams he's making.
Nice. So, man, I don't know. I don't care who Michigan plays. I think we can play anybody. I think what is horrible is how you have to tell the Florida State kids that they ran the table in the ACC, which went 6-4 against Alabama's SEC this year, and now somehow they get left out in the cold because they hurt their quarterback. You're going to punish 100 other kids.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. And they did it.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible. I mean, they couldn't justify letting Alabama in without letting Texas in. So they had to let Texas in because they beat Alabama by 10 at home. I mean, so you can't really get rid of them. So instead of letting maybe a Texas in and not Alabama and keeping the undefeated Florida State team in, you put Texas and Alabama with one loss when Alabama just barely got by Auburn 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Auburn,
I know.
Who is, correct me if I'm wrong, is not even bowl eligible, right?
I believe you're right there. It's the ultimate level of hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's just disrespectful. And like I said, man, Michigan can play whoever we're going to play. I really don't care. We should beat the best to be the best. But for me, it's more of, this is kind of why I've stepped back from sports. Remember, I always tell you guys, the only way we can hurt the big conglomerate is to not support, not pay, not give our money. And it's really hard because I'm a sports junkie. But, I'm not going to a lot of games anymore like I used to. I'm not buying jerseys like I used to because the only way I can show that I care about it is not support them, right? Don't give them my money. So that's all I can do. And it's kind of come to that for me when things are – this is terrible, man. It's a terrible black eye for college football.
Terrible.
If you ask me to leave an undefeated – this is not a MAC team or some Division II team that went undefeated. This is the ACC. Their record is 6-4 against the SEC this year. And you're going to leave an undefeated Florida State team out who runs the table against probably
absolute travesty, Dale. Absolute travesty. We got to step aside, but we'll be back with more X's and Bros after this.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com. at MHSAA on Twitter and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archived boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Book your stay this fall in a luxurious first-class room and receive $50 premium play, a $20 spa credit, and a $25 dining credit. Rates are just $289 a night, Sunday through Thursday, and $339 on Fridays and Saturdays. Reserve your room now, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Roast Umber is a farm-direct coffee sourced from Central American farmers and roasted in Grand Rapids. And also the Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is a convenient and healthy option for energy with no sugar additives. Look for it at your local retailer or at roastumber.com. Coming up later today at 3 on The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network, I'll deliver huge opinions on everything you're talking about.
Miss any of today's show? Find our podcast and listen on demand on Google, Apple, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, back to X's and Bros with Anthony Bellino, here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. You know, in the game of basketball, the game can change in an instant. But no matter how the action unfolds, you know DraftKings Sportsbook has your back. This week, new customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub, and best of all, it's safe, secure, and reliable with 24/7 support. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever, wherever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE. Promo code HUGE. New customers get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, only using the promo code HUGE. The crown is yours. Now, if you or somebody who knows a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Michigan. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Great to see you right along with us. Auburn is 6-6. I didn't know what Auburn's record was. Sam from Sag Nasty. I feel bad for FSU, especially since ACC was better than the SEC. 6-4 head-to-head. SEC was 7-9 out of conference this year overall. Just imagine the uproar if they beat Georgia in the bowl game. Yeah, I would. You know what? To be honest with you, I'd rather stick it to the committee. I hate everything. You know, I got Heather Dinich and Paul Feinbaum up there on the TV right now. You know, the mouth of the South, Paul. I just don't like it. I don't like any part of it. I think that the idea of a committee selecting teams without a set criteria, I beat this like a dead horse, like a drum. I say it all the time. When will somebody ever make me the commissioner of college football? You know, how you have 130-plus teams playing D1 and only half of the league or half of the division has an opportunity to play for a title, that's crazy. That's just absolutely preposterous. College football is evolving. And I'm telling you this right now. I was going through and taking a look at the Big Ten champions, right, throughout the history of the conference. The most Big Ten football championships by school. Michigan has 45. Ohio State has 39. Minnesota has 18. Illinois 15. Wisconsin 14. Iowa 11. Michigan State has 9. Northwestern has 8. Purdue has 8. Chicago has 7. Penn State has 4. Indiana has 2. Nebraska, Maryland, and Rutgers all have 0. With the addition, now, yes, I said Chicago has 7. They were formerly a member of the Big Ten. As I say this now, you're going to add USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington to the conference. I think this should be a football-only move. Keep the Pac-12 intact for all the other sports and let football do its thing. Because football is its own separate entity that needs a realistic governing body, a commissioner that is in charge, standardized television contracts per conference, with its own set of rules and monetary distribution amongst the players. I could go on and on and on about this, but this is why I should be the commissioner, because this committee, you know, people tell me like, oh, we got to go carbon neutral, right? All you people out there, carbon neutral. It's not, you're never going to be carbon neutral, right? It takes oil and fossil fuels to be able to run the equipment that digs up the lithium in the mine in the middle of Africa that is destroying the land. But you don't care about the elephants and the rhinos either until it becomes like, you know, Taylor Swift or somebody tweets about it. So miss me with that BS. Secondly, you're just passing that on to somebody else. Your carbon debt, if you will. You got all these people flying to Dallas every week. For what? What a waste of money. I can do it from my own home. Do it via Skype. I'm doing it right now. I do it right for the radio bunker. The commissioner of college football says. That's what, hey, look, if you want to keep all these teams in D1, then the 12-team expanded playoff, or even it should be 16-team expanded playoff, but I'll get to that momentarily. Your 10 conference winners, which this is all going to change because the Pac-12 is dissolving. Like, oh, your Power 5 plus our highest-ranked group of 5 champion. There is no more Power 5. You ruined it. You killed it. When the SEC went out in Texas and Oklahoma were cheating on their woman. They were sliding out the back door in the middle of the night, you dirty scoundrels, to join the SEC. So what do we have, 2 super conferences? I'm telling you this right now. The bottom 50% at minimum, it's probably going to go to 75%. I believe in Washington. I believe in Oregon. Right? They have some historical traditions. They have the monetary backing. USC is always going to be USC. UCLA will never have a chance, so you don't have to worry about them. But the Big Ten is going to be what? The Big 18? I mean, look, guys, those bottom 12 to 15 teams, that's probably a little stretch. Let's say the bottom, because we're now at 18, the bottom 10 to 14, 10 to 12, bottom 10 to 12 teams are never going to win a Big Ten championship ever again. Nebraska, Maryland, and Rutgers are not, in my lifetime, will never win the Big Ten. Not going to happen. Indiana, out. Purdue, out. Northwestern, out. Iowa, never again. Wisconsin, they might dabble. It's going to be Michigan, Ohio State, Washington, USC, Oregon, maybe Penn State, but I don't believe it. Like those are your 6. Those are your 6. Maybe Michigan State can make it 7. They've done it before. They could probably do it again. They've done it in recent history. So there's your 7 teams. Half the league will never win a Big Ten championship in my lifetime. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. You don't have the boosters. You don't have the funding. Like it just, we saw what happens. Big Ron says, what's the number post leather helmets? I am so glad that you asked that, Ron. I am so glad that you asked. What is the number post leather helmets? So let's take a gander, right? Let's go back in time. Let's do it. And just check it out. Just to see. What do you want to do? Where do you want to start at? You want to start 1970? Does that work for you? Let's start 1970. All right? We had good NFL football then. Kind of feels like modern era a little bit. Let's go 1970, if that works for you. 71, 72, 73, 74, 76, 77, 78, 80, 82, 86, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 97, 98, 2000, 2003, 2004, a little bit of a lull, and then 3 consecutive, 2001, 2021, 22, and 23. I lost track. 23? Sorry. Big Ron. Sorry, Big Ron. Post leather helmet, yeah. It's always the same crap with the same group of people, too. So there you go. There's a quick list for you, Ron. I'll get to the Twitter in case you're not listening. You coward. Call the number. Will Ohio State claim Quinn Ewers like they do Joe Burrow if Texas wins the national championship? You know they will. And their quarterback just left. Colin McCord has entered the transfer portal. Whatever that means. He can still come back, but that doesn't look good. Here's a question. The committee already knew last week FSU was wounded with injury, yet they had them ranked 4. Why weren't they 5th or 6th going into last weekend? The politics driving their two-faced decision on FSU could not be more obvious. Whoever sent that in, you are absolutely correct. What a joke. What a sham. If Alabama beat the number 1 team and that elevated them to 4, and Florida State beat Alabama. No, they didn't. Texas beat Alabama. And Florida State went undefeated and beat LSU. USDA Scott wants to talk college football playoff, Wings, Lions, USDA. That's a lot of topics here in only a short amount of time.
That's all I need, buddy. First of all, on the Red Wings, so sad to hear about Dylan Larkin.
Devastating.
And his baby and their family. I know. And I can't believe without their captain, the fight that they gave to the Rangers, I can't remember if that was last Thursday or last Friday, but I mean, those guys gave everything. I'm so impressed with that team right now. It is just exciting. Secondly, our Lions did what they were supposed to do yesterday. They came out with energy, a house of fire, and they're tired. We know it. We already know it. They're even saying it. We got linemen that are tired. We got guys that are just tired. And I still think that 12-5 is very, very possible. 13-4 is very possible. 13-4 may get them the second seed. I don't know. We'll see. But I believe in everything they're doing. And let's just remember there's only 9 teams or 10 teams that have won multiple Super Bowls out of 32. So it's not everybody that gets there, and it's not everybody that wins. So I'm proud of them. And then let's get to why don't we just say that Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State are penciled in for the Final Four every year, no matter what, and just let it go at that. And then sometimes to screw the Big Ten, because ESPN doesn't have a contract with us anymore, you'll throw an LSU or a Notre Dame or a Texas in there every once in a while just to make us feel bad. It is. I don't have a horse in the race or anything else, but it just reminded me of all the social media and political correctness and everything else to say, oh, let's just say this. If Georgia would have beat Alabama, would Florida State not made would the 4 13-0 teams not made it, even though Texas won? I guarantee you, as long as they have the SEC in there, Florida State still would have made it. And that is sick. I was sick to my stomach about that last night. For those kids, I don't care if the damn towel boy is the quarterback. If they're winning, if they won their league, they won their games. Oh, I'm getting upset right now. It's just.
Yeah, you okay? You get a hold of yourself.
Yeah.
You all right?
Buddy, it was horrible.
It was terrible. It was a travesty. It's a travesty, but it's just sports.
Let's screw Michigan again, because ESPN hates Michigan. Let's screw Michigan again. Oh, and let's say we're going to have them play Alabama and then Texas. So, Michigan, you got to go through the gauntlet to win.
Oh, I don't care about that. Bring me Alabama, because if we would have gotten Texas or Florida State, and like, well, Florida State had a third-string quarterback, and Texas, no, give me Alabama. I want them. Give them to me, Scott. I want to beat Alabama, then I want to go beat Washington, and I want to end it all. And I want the spy planes and Connor Stallions and Jim Harbaugh. I want it all.
Let them fly the National Guard or whoever they want to over the stadium. And you know what? Like I say, I'm a Sparty.
Mm-hmm.
I have and will never root as hard as I will for Michigan throughout January. Screw those other people. I'm done with it.
Folks, it's about the Big Ten flag at this point. If it means anything to you, we need the Big Ten and all their every team that goes to a bowl, they got to win. And the unfortunate thing is, we're having this conversation in the group chat this morning, a lot of Ohio State guys in there, whatever. Kyle McCord's enters the transfer portal. If I'm Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm not playing. I'm not running the risk of what happened to Jake Butt happened to me. What happened to Jalen Smith happened to me. I'm not doing it. I'm out. I'm sorry.
Marvin Harrison could virtually be the number one pick. If not, Chicago runs the risk of him being gone by 4.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I am not.
They can't afford to not get him. That is
game changer.
That's Megatron. That's Megatron.
Well, hold on. Like, let's maybe he gets to Amon-Ra St. Brown level in his rookie season. Maybe he gets to that. Hey, Amon-Ra, more yards than Calvin Johnson through 3 seasons.
That kid is amazing. Stop.
Amon-Ra, more yards in 3 seasons than Calvin Johnson, and we have 5 games left to play. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. It's kind of good.
Yeah, because we got a better quarterback and more options.
Jared Goff's a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford?
Huh?
Jared Goff's a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford?
With the line he has and the running backs he has and his
wow.
weapons? Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You said better quarterback. You didn't say better line and running back, Scott. Look at you. We're backpedaling here. We're like doing a waltz right now. Look at us, you and me. Well, Scott, man, I appreciate the call. I think you're absolutely right. Now, I think that one of our texters just said this in. College football playoff has turned into the Champions Classic. Yeah. Yeah, but really, honestly, that's what it is. That's what it is. Like it's an absolute travesty. Can you talk about the 49ers and Eagles security incident? Why would a security officer be allowed to touch a player on the field? So team security from the Eagles, like both guys get ejected, I guess. I missed this portion. I saw later on there was a kerfluffle. If you are not, it's a no-go zone. The only way you could ever touch a player not being another player in uniform or a coach is if the player is coming at you at full speed and you're trying to brace yourself for impact. Like we've had that happen a couple times in the end zone where we're at Lions games. So we're right by the tunnel, anywhere between the goal line and the 15-yard line basically is where I'm posted up at. If a player's coming in spicy and you got to get out of the way or you got to try to brace him, you got to do what you got to do. But he's coming at you full speed. He didn't that player. It is not his responsibility to try to save you if he runs into you. As for, a security officer touching the player, that's just not, that's bad. That's poor form. That's poor form. And the player touching him doesn't need to happen. Trying to break up the mix up, like cooler heads must prevail there. But, it's one of those things, like it happened. People learn from it. I'm sure somebody will probably get, just fined or whatever. I'm sure somebody will get fined, but it doesn't matter. Where you at, New Orleans? The New Orleans Saints played a low-light reel for the Lions, like with the Motown Miracle from Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that. They played a low-light reel for the Lions at their building. Uncalled for. Poor sportsmanship. No tact. Lions off to the best start since 1962 when they went 10-2, 62. They go to New Orleans, scored 21 points in the first 7 minutes of the football game. I believe the first team since 2000 to be able to do that. Just completely dominant. We love to see it. It's a victory Monday, folks. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Michigan's Big Ten champs. Lions are 9-3. Life is good. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Michigan Sports Network.
Your cart with Meijer Savings.
This year, give the gift of savings from Meijer.
Santa Bucks will save you plenty.
Plus, stack your savings when you shop super low prices with the Meijer Super Sale.
Ho, ho, ho! Savings for all!
Don't wait to shop and save with Super Sale and Santa Bucks. This Friday and Saturday only at Meijer. Plus, get a $10 coupon when you spend $100 or more this week in store. Print it at checkout. Start redeeming next week. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Huge here for my friends from Coppercraft Distillery. Now, they're a Michigan-based company, and they have a message for anybody 21 and up. You're going to want to get hooked up with this Honolulu Blue, a premium can cocktail. Vodka, blue raspberry lemonade. This special limited edition canned cocktail is available at local stores, pubs, and restaurants. And when you're cheering on our favorite pro football team, TDs, tailgates, and more, make sure you grab a Honolulu Blue from Coppercraft Distillery.
Merc Perks from Mercantile Bank is here. Merc Perks checking has all you need to plan your busy lifestyle. Travel services for hotels, airfare, and cruises, cash back rewards, and even savings on prescriptions, eyewear, and dental work. Merck Perks also includes all the traditional benefits you love, like online and mobile banking, and fee-free access to almost 40,000 MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merck is here. Learn more at mymerckperks.com, member FDIC.
Huge here for Van Andel Institute Purple Community. Now, they're a grassroots fundraising network powered by the volunteers who support VAI's mission to improve health now and in the future. Learn more at purplecommunity.org.
The Freddie the Pizza Man Foundation is dedicated to providing support to families and Michigan schools touched by autism. We invite you to join us in supporting these families and schools by making a donation at freddythepizzaman.com. With your donation, you can help provide essential resources that can make a real impact. Visit freddythepizzaman.com to make a donation and to learn more about the foundation's mission. That's FREDI thepizzaman.com. Together, we can make a difference.
For goodness sake, wear your seatbelt. Better yet, for your family's sake, your friend's sake, for your own sake, buckle up. The Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police knows that seatbelts save lives. The Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police sees firsthand what happens when seatbelts aren't used. We want Michigan to be the leader in seatbelt use. We want everyone in Michigan to get home safely. For everyone's sake, buckle up every time.
Coming up later today at 3 on The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network, I'll deliver huge opinions on everything you're